I just started it now.
Oh, you ruined it.
Ha 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 ha. I'm starting like 2 minutes early because I love my fans. This is how it works, right? My look at my page. It looks so it looks so cluttered.
I had a belch ready and Amy started too late. Rude.
Also, yeah, you'll hear me echo accidentally because I had my stream on at some point. Yeah, this is Miles. I like Miles. He's great. And
Miles is a good boy.
He's got very expressive poses because they're very unrefined superhero poses. So we're gonna start by drawing him, and then if I get more time, I have a fitness magazine with some buff boys in it.
Amy bought a censored nudie mag.
It's not a nudie mag. It's literally like, guys, look, this is how you get muscles. And I'm like, hot damn.
Well, considering we were on the way back, we took a taxi and we were just oogling like the abs and like how defined it was.
Lol. Okay, yeah. So this is from Spider-Verse. Look at some of these poses are just like amazing, and I love this series. So well, not series. This movie so much, so I'm just like, oh, this is a great idea, I'll draw those. So we've got to actually pick one, and then I'll put all the other ones away so that we can like focus on the one. Which one do you reckon I should draw first?
Let me have a look, see. Okay, I would say either the bottom one with Spooderman, or the bottom left one.
Where he's like falling over?
Yeah.
I'd say I'll leave that one maybe till last, because it's probably the hardest pose here.
Okay, well, screw you then.
LOL? Okay, well, out of all the poses I've got, because you've picked one, I'm gonna keep the Spider-Man one, and I've also got the one of him pointing. So I'm gonna do that, because it's a basic standing pose, so it's one of the easier ones. So I'm gonna put these back in here. We're gonna do all of these. You're not gonna get a lot of time to put a ton of detail into them either. You're gonna have to just draw the basics for it, and then we'll move on, because I am a horrible art teacher and this is what they tell you to do, so yeah.
Yeet.
Big abs equals more views. Yeah, right. That's exactly how it is. You just need to make sure that they're giant. So, you know, you can draw a dude, and then you've just got to make sure that his pecs are like twice the size of his head. Wow, I can't draw pecs to there. There we go. Oh, I forgot the neck muscles, and then you gotta have
the knuckle muscles.
There we go, and there's the giant deltoid, and then there's the triangle. And there we go, we've got giant ab man. He's terrifying.
Giant ab man. Good lord, when did Deviant get here?
Thick thighs save lives. This guy doesn't have thick thighs. Look, his legs are just like this.
This dude's got this dude is thick.
Why? Because this is how I concept all of my muscle men. This is how Gabrant was concepted. Okay, so I'm gonna draw this pose. And what I'm gonna do for this one is I'm gonna do what I've seen a couple of artists that I really admire do, who do a lot of like gestural drawing. So we're not worrying about the anatomy, okay? Anatomy's going out the window. Just throw it out. We don't need it. This is hilarious because this is what I complain I don't have. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to you put a line for the hips, and then you put a line for the direction that the shoulders are going in. Then you can put the shape of your head. It doesn't have to be finished. His shoulders actually come up like that, so I guess this is a little bit too low.
Yeah, chat, yeet that anatomy.
Yep, and then his legs come down. You can obviously break it down into the anatomical shapes still, so like I like doing these. But I'm gonna do this pose probably about 2 to 3 times, because the first time it always looks like garbage. It's just what it is whenever I draw a picture. So the second time you kind of refine what you were doing right in the first one, and then the third time you've kind of got a grasp of the pose. So this one, this actually goes up like that. So this starts here, your thumb. That is the ugliest hand I've ever drawn.
Forget anatomy, sweetie. Yeet it. Yeet.
Yeah, yeet this. I'm just gonna turn my music down a bit. It's too loud. Where's my...
Yeet it to the bin. Lol.
Body proportions. Well, to be honest, you'll get a grasp on body proportions as you go. This is why you have a reference. Your reference is your body proportions. See, like, this is his waist. This is where the elbow should generally hit, which means that this is his waist. I did it right, guys! Huzzah! So that's my first attempt. I feel like this foot is incorrect. You can't see his foot, so I mean, like, you don't have to draw it. I'm just gonna put it there because I'm hoping it would be there. I'm practicing. Look, I'm not that bright. You can also draw roughly, like, not everyone does, but like you can put in a facial expression if you want. You don't always have to do that either. Most people don't if they're doing poses, and I probably won't for the majority. Yeet, we dab on the anatomy. Lol. How long does it take to do thumbnails? Every thumbnail's different, and every pose can take a different amount of time. So sometimes a pose could take you 10 minutes, and sometimes a pose could take you 4 hours because it's a butt. No flossing emote though, just a gab dab. Yeah, you're never getting a flossing emote from me. If you do, it would be like Ethan literally flossing his teeth. That would be what you get in response. Woo, gab dab. Yes, my favorite. One of my favorite emotes. Okay, so we've done this with it. This is the first attempt. So, second attempt, I'm gonna just use some basic shapes to try and get a more flowy kind of like feel to it. The legs were too long on the first one as well, so he did just stop to, like, I think he's telling Spider-Man off at this particular one. So that, and then the head is down a little bit, but not too much. So yeah, the more you practice stuff like this, the better you'll get at it. I'm not very good because I tend to have a habit of forgetting to sketch this kind of stuff. You can see, like, there's like no anatomy in that particular doodle. It's just a case of let's just shove stuff in there and hope it's about right. If you are completely brand new to it, I would suggest adding extra lines. So, for example, you can add one for the head, and then you can put the neck in. You can add like a box shape for the chest. You can put one where the waist would be to help you out, and then you put another one where the hips would be so you can connect them, and that way when you've got the arm down, you know exactly where it should stop. So that's everyone does a different skeleton when they draw. So it's kind of comes down to preference and how you specifically learn, to be honest. I kind of like how stylized these legs are. I don't know how long they are, but I like how stylized they are. Once we've finished this pose, I'll just like move on to the next one. I'll give everybody at least a little bit of time to work on it, because I don't want to go ahead too quickly and make it difficult for everybody else. And don't feel like you have to rush. If you want extra time to work on the pose and everyone else is like ready to move on, you can always just take a screenshot of the pose and then work on it in your spare time as well.
Yeah, I'll watch it in the VOD.
Yep. This will be left on YouTube when we're finished so that people can still do stuff with it and learn. Because it's the whole point of this particular series. I really want to learn with everybody and we can all up our art skills. So there we go. He's telling... So each one is slightly different. This one kind of looks like he's more thinking about what he's saying while like pointing at someone, so it's just like, oh, wait a minute, but if you did it, whereas this one's just like, you did it, you did it. So there you go. There's like, this is the importance of like the subtlety in each pose. How do you become a member? You have to purchase it, as far as I'm aware. You wish you were as talented as me. Well, we're literally learning how to do that right now. You have to study it, you have to practice while you study, and it is horrifying.
Hard.
Welcome to creativity, where you have to hone your skills every day, just like you would if you were boxing and like doing other fit stuff. This is making your brain fit. Oh, that's right, we were gonna do Brom flexing with his brain muscles about his knowledge.
His brain knowledge.
His brain knowledge. He's got no butt. Although he doesn't really have one, like through here, it's basically a straight line. So this is the other fun thing, is like, when you got a reference like this, you can literally just draw over the top of it to get an idea of what the pose looks like. He's also wearing clothes, so we're not gonna have anatomy absolutely perfect because this clothes isn't particularly skin tight. Like Spooderman's one.
Whoa.
It's like $5 a month. $5 really. Yep. It's literally there to support the person that you're watching. It's like the, you know, like you pay for it to help them do stuff and you get emotes and stuff in reward.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of inspired my style a lot, and I would love to learn how to draw animals. Oh, there's a lovely, lovely website, actually. I'm hoping I saved it. I did. Okay, so I'm going to post this in chat. Yep, so that is the coolest website ever for animals, because what it does is it gives you an animal's skull, and then you can put it in any direction you want, and then it will find you reference images of that animal with that specific angle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see? That's like the best thing ever. So if you want to learn how to draw animals, use that reference site, because that's just amazingly useful.
That is cool.
Yeah. Because you also have the skeleton head of it as well, so that you can see the structure of the head underneath everything else, and that's really important to know if you're trying to build stuff around it. So yeah, those are the kinds of things like we gotta practice and we gotta learn. I love how I've just drawn them smaller each time. I just noticed that.
He's getting further and further away.
Let's draw another one, but we'll draw him even smaller. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can try and draw it in even fewer strokes. So this is just like, this is the no erase tool.
You mad lad.
No. He's a lot thicker in this one.
Heck.
He looks like he's been working out.
All of them kind of just look like they're pointing at, like, check out this guy. You seeing this?
Okay, wait, I'm gonna do a taboo thing. So in this, obviously, I know a lot of you are gonna be drawing on paper, so you can't do this, but I'm just making his head bigger. It was too small. But in most of these poses, if it doesn't look right, I will actually be scrapping it and starting it again because it's important to be able to draw it correctly. So.
She's gone ever more mad. First she yeeted the anatomy and now she's going inny mini sizey. But yeah, what was it like? The more confident your strokes are, the better it tends to turn out.
Yeah, because you end up with really long, confident strokes, and if you notice, like, it just looks so much more clear what I'm trying to get across in this fourth one. And those are all from building the structural material earlier on. So this gives me a rough idea of, like, where the shoulders go for the first one, the kind of shapes that I can use built with anatomy for the second one, more simplistic just shape structure for the third one, and then what I would draw if I was drawing a comic panel for the last one. So these are the kinds of things that we're hoping to improve on, because like the idea is to eventually look at a pose like this and just go, oh, okay, so like this pose down here is just like his arm is out like this a little bit, and then the hands down, and then it's only going to take me a few minutes to get an entire pose down instead of it taking me like 20 minutes, which is what it used to take me. So there we go, like that's the difference. Because there's some people that I've been watching for ages, and I'm trying to learn how they do stuff. But they'll draw an entire pose in less than a minute, like 30 seconds for each pose, and they look ridiculously well done. So it's just like you look at it and you're just like, okay, I know exactly what their pose is, which is important.
Oh, sorry, go. I was gonna say I thought you'd finished. Sorry, like somebody else got a question. What basic shapes do you use for legs?
Okay, so for legs, when I do them, so you got your hips. Most people draw underwear on it. But normally for actual leg shapes, I kind of just put two, like a cylinder, and then when it meets in the middle, I bring out the cylinder, and then just sort of like, so it's a very odd shape. I don't actually have like a normal shape name for it. And then obviously like a foot is kind of like drawing a sock. So that's normally how I draw my legs. This is from a lot of practice, and there's a lot of anatomical stuff technically in this kind of leg shape, so it's kind of habit. I don't actually know what I used to draw anymore. I guess I used to just draw sticks. So all of my legs used to just be like this. And they were normally off balance that much too, actually, come to think of it. Now I could just put a thing there and actually like turn it into somebody just standing further away. There we go. If it's like not on the same plane, you can kind of cheat, and if you put perspective lines, it suddenly looks like he's standing on a floor. Cheating. I say cheating, but it's literally just like, okay, this is how you do a thing to to help you understand what it would look like in a 3D space. And this is why perspective is really important. Yeah, I'm self-taught. Thank you for answering that. I appreciate it.
I got you, fam.
Yay! Obviously, I don't brag about stuff because
I do it
it's
for
just...
you.
I feel bad if I brag about anything that I do. Okay, so I'm gonna minimize these a little bit. I'm keeping them. Because this is our study session, it should be on the page. Oh, I just need to save this. It's not June, it's July, Amy. Why are you in June? Post studies. What's the series? The study bin.
Similar question. How do you draw arms? Not buff ones, since there's less tutorials for average ones.
Okay, so your arm is normally done in 3 shapes. You got the deltoid, which you have regardless of whether you're buff or not. And it comes halfway down your bicep. And then you've got this part of the arm. This is where your bicep would be. So if you were drawing a muscle, you'd just do that. But if you just got a normal arm, you'd see like a slight indent because it still exists. Or you can just do it flat, whatever suits your fancy. And then you can do the same thing as like you do with the legs. It's got like this kind of weird cylindrical shape where it's slightly bigger at the front. It actually comes straight as it goes towards the wrist, and then you draw your hand shape on top of that. But there's like extra muscles, so like there's the deltoid splits into 3, and I've butchered where that is, but it does split into 3. There's a muscle at the back here, which when you relax this one raises, and when you do it the other way, it's the same thing. Then there's also a muscle here, which you see mostly when you bend your arm. So you'll actually see like this muscle that sits here. It sits all the way across, which I still get, I struggle when I'm drawing it quite a lot. But
Would you like a smoothie, by the way?
yes.
Nice.
How to draw a front body drawing. Well, technically this pose here of Miles is pretty close to that. It's a posed body at a slight three-quarter view angle. Front body, you're kind of just gonna be doing the same thing. You really need to practice a lot of basic shapes. You can do it the same way as I did it before.
Let me put it this way. Like, the earlier you can get it into your brain to, like, start practicing something, the better off you'll be. I know it's, like, a cliche to hear, you know, oh, put it in the practice, and it really is. I wish I had started practicing something earlier. Because Lord knows now I would be, like, you'd be even further ahead. So the sooner you can dedicate yourself to something, the better.
Yeah, it's important as well not to rush. Which is hard even for me. I rush a lot of stuff because I'm used to working in a very fast-paced area. So, like, all of my work is fast-paced. And I'm not happy with the stiffness of a lot of this stuff. So, normally with, like, with your artwork, there's a lot of small curves and stuff in this pose, which is hard to grasp, and it's that kind of thing that gives it more life and fluidity, and that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to get better at.
Sorry, chat, you'll have to order your own smoothie.
You can get one probably from McDonald's. I mean, that's where we buy ours from.
So I'm eating healthier, so like I've been having like a banana and strawberry protein shake with an apple. But because of that, I get hungry. So I'm ordering like a cup of tea, and I'm ordering Amy a drink as well. So
yeah, and yeah. So the reason people tell you to practice is because the thing you're trying to practice first is learning how to control your pencil, so you can draw a circle in like one go. or you can draw curves, or you can't draw just a straight line, okay? See? No artist who's good at drawing can draw a perfectly straight line, so don't tell me that you can't draw because you can't draw a straight line. This is why a ruler exists. Just don't use the circle tool because you need to practice drawing curves, okay? Doing this is like the most important thing you could draw. Digital artists are lucky with the Control Z. You have an eraser. I was doing this on paper.
Pencil started it first.
Yeah, pencil started it first. They have erasers. I didn't know how to use Control Z when I started on this thing. I just got rid of the canvas and started again.
Why can't I order biscuits? That makes me sad.
I don't know.
This is England. What the hell? I'm disgusted.
Oh, I'm gonna do another thing actually. I'm gonna flip this canvas. You can do this by looking at a mirror with your artwork, so that'll help. And this is where you can tell like if something's incorrect. So this is actually supposed to curve round more, which it's funny, you wouldn't think it would. I think that technically comes out more.
But you get an indent on the paper, also you can't move and rotate something. Cut it out! Boom!
Yeah, you can rotate things on paper. You just hold it out in front of you and you turn both of your hands in alternating directions. Ta-da!
You can shop online for biscuits. Yeah, I know, but I don't want to eat them because I'm being healthy.
Well then why are you trying to order biscuits?
Because I know I can't, so I want to complain about it.
Oh, okay then.
Complaining feeds me.
Yes, dear.
Also, I give up with the damn thumbnail I'm working on. It's a pain in the ass.
I don't blame you. So for this one, I'm actually gonna draw the platform that he's sitting on. Because perspective is handy. And I want it.
Oat biscuits. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're so right.
Look.
I'm ordering 10 from Tesco for today or tomorrow.
It won't come by tomorrow, it'll come by Monday.
I don't care. I'm ordering.
Okay,
That's
so
genius. Thank you. You've saved my life.
thank you for saving Andy's life. My gosh. Okay, so I'm drawing, the reason I'm drawing the platform for this one, and I'm actually going to color it in a little bit, is just so we've got a, kind of like a place to put them on. Because I'm going to be drawing them on this particular thing, and I actually wanted to have the thing now. So it's nothing fancy. It kind of looks like a boxing ring when it's in black and white, even though it's not. But I really need to practice my shots, because I can't storyboard if I don't know how to draw in perspective. Yeah. I gotta draw lots of stuff.
My question: how to be proportional while drawing poses which has the same body parts not visible?
Oh, okay, this is hard. Not gonna lie, I think most artists struggle with this. This is where you need a reference. Because until you really understand the entirety of the form and how the form would look even if you can't see it, because sometimes people would just they'd draw it behind the character and then they just erase it afterwards. But with that, because of the way that the body is and how everyone's proportions are quite often different, because taller people are going to look different compared to like me being a short person, it's just easier to get a reference for those kinds of poses. It's also going to be the most accurate and fastest way for you to get the pose down.
Your school doesn't teach you perspective. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Funnily enough, I learnt perspective in my workshop class, not in my art class. So that was a thing. Okay, yeah, so there's my whatchamacallit, and I'm just gonna sketch in Miles first. So for this one, I've actually seen, there's a lot of things that I've seen for techniques which are interesting. Some people will start from the bottom, actually. and some people will start from the feet, and then other people, like, the most common one is everyone does is they start from the head. But the problem with starting with the head is you're often not sure how far the rest of the body is going to go, so you kind of end up losing space, and then you've got a head with no room. I think for me, I tend to work better starting with, like, the shoulders. This is a terrible one. I actually think my first one, where I was just really quickly putting the pose in, was actually better, because I wasn't worried about it as much. Okay, his hands more like that. All the fingers are actually separated. And it's further up from his body. His jacket is so big and baggy, so the rest of his body would probably actually come up like this. But of course you won't see that because of the clothes. This is another reason why I picked him specifically, is because it makes me think about how the body would actually look while there's clothes on it that are baggy. Not only that, but I don't draw baggy clothes enough. So this is another reason I can actually just flat out draw his clothes on him. I'm not drawing his head big enough, so... This leg's also not big enough. I know it comes out like here, and you don't see like the rest of the butt there. This is where sometimes like certain poses can be quite hard to do. Nonetheless, I still want to draw it, so I will draw it. Also, his shoes look great.
You could actually buy them.
That is cool.
They're expensive, but you can buy them.
Okay, so there's a couple of problems that you can immediately see with my picture. One is he looks like he's sitting too far up. He doesn't actually look like he's he doesn't look like he's not cowering, but like he should look like he's sort of like pulled back a little bit more. And surprised. I mean, Spider-Man's literally standing in front of him just like, "Sup, man, I'm a Spider-Man. I may or may not be in mortal danger."
Yeah, he looks like he's sunk into him. His head sunk into his neck.
Yeah. Because you can still see it, but I think it comes out about there. So...
Yeah. His body would probably be thinner as well, but just because of the coat.
Oh yeah, that coat makes it look baggier than it actually is. But...
What do I do for proportions is I look at myself in the mirror.
That helps for your proportions. Obviously, I think this is where it's good looking through multiple things, just because your proportions are going to be for your body build. Proportions do change slightly depending on the person's height, the person's weight, and the person's, like, I guess bone structure underneath too, because you can get some strange things in each body type. Like, there are some people who cannot have a 6-pack. There's some people who can only have a 1-pack for like abs, or 2. They can't have a full 6-pack, and for them that's the height of the definition that they can have.
Yeah, that was funny learning that it's literally impossible for certain body types.
Yeah, it's like, it's super great, like, hearing this kind of stuff. Head should be leaned back and shoulders should be moved forward. So there's a little bit of a thing here with this. So his actual shoulder and deltoid would be like there. So it actually isn't pushed forward too much. So it is it needs to be raised higher. His head needs to be moved down further. It also needs to be bigger. And you were saying?
I don't remember.
Oh, sumimasen.
Gomenasai.
Let's just give him here this time, because, you know.
I have ordered substance.
Thanks.
It will arrive at our place of residence, and we will substance upon it.
Okay. Oh, that's why that's doing that. Oops.
Hi, Miss Amy. Can you draw a hand real quick? I have Trudel, or I think they're in trouble, with hands and perspectives, so I just wanted to ask. Hi, Mr. Andy Uwu. Hello.
Actually, there is another video on my channel. It's under the same title as this one specifically, but so it's the study bin, but it's for hands. So I did one of a hand that turns over, and it's for all of the poses within that one, so you can actually see the perspective of your hand when it moves. So I'd suggest having a look at that one first.
I'll get it for you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna draw.
There's the hand one for you guys.
Yeah, as soon as you add the bagginess on it, look how different it looks immediately. So, unfortunately, like, with that expression, he doesn't look, like, super worried, but he looks more anime now. This also needs to come up a lot higher, and it's a lot closer to the thing. It's also a lot further back this way. Yeah, this is the most accurate version I can draw, like, quickly, I guess. So I'm gonna be basing my other ones off this one. This is what I mean by some poses you can get quickly and some poses you don't. I think it took me less time to figure out how to draw a quick version of that pose than it took me to draw this one. What kind of brushes do you use? If you're just sketching, any brush works. I've sketched with just a solid round brush. I'm sketching with a rectangle brush. and I often used to sketch with this brush. I kind of just pick one and then run with it and then see what happens. Yeah, so this is the brush I'm using. I don't know why, I just fancied using it. I usually use it for painting.
Amy should have a school where her and her OCs teach.
Oh my gosh, I wish. I'd love to do that. I could have Ronan as a cooking teacher, and every time it's just terrible.
Not gonna lie, we have considered actually getting like hiring a place out to teach stuff at.
Yeah, one day I'd love to do that. Unfortunately, like, my stuff's not, like, the biggest issue I have at the moment is my stuff's not big enough to warrant a lot of the things that I'd like to do. So, like, OC Chronicles had to be put on hold because it wasn't bringing in the stuff that I needed to be able to actually take the time out to work on it. And then this series, it's not really... It's definitely not making the bread, I guess, or bringing home the bread or whatever. But I want to do it because I need to be able to study and learn and draw better. And I want to help everyone else draw better, so it's not just me drawing. I want to see everyone else draw with me. But, yeah. The bigger we get eventually, I actually would love to be able to start doing some really cool stuff. So... yep, I've got Photoshop. I will be using Clip Studio Paint if I ever decide to finish and line art any of these pieces. Because it's just nicer to line art on it, and I'd actually like to start using it a little bit more often. We gotta get all of the support because you deserve it. Oh, I appreciate that. Honestly, like, I'm very happy with the small community we have just because it's a lovely community. Like, I don't think I really need or really want anything else. The only thing I guess, like, it is a requirement, is I only need it bigger in the sense of I can do more or afford to do more, I guess, is the thing. It's the same thing with everybody, so... It's so interesting, because this one leg here... So this is another thing that you were talking about earlier. So the proportions here are pretty odd. So this part of the leg is obviously longer than this part that you see. This part's actually really small. And that's because of perspective. Perspective creates some issues sometimes when it comes to drawing pictures, but same time it's like the most useful thing because you can really develop a world. I'm very happy I drew the background actually because it's made drawing this easier. It feels like he's in a space rather than
it's
it just
essentially
feeling
like
so
having
flat.
a reference.
Yeah.
Which I don't feel bad, chat, because even I have to freaking beat it into Amy's mind sometimes that to use a reference.
Yep. So also, yeah, use a
It's
reference.
not using a reference is not cheating.
No, it's not. It's required, to be honest. You can't learn something if you don't know what it looks like. Have you done
Can
videos...
I draw? No.
Have you done video on girl anatomy? So, a long time ago, I did draw the basics on girl anatomy. Girls have more curves. So, often with guys, you get a lot of straight edges unless you're drawing, like, amazingly round muscles like those. But with... no. Okay, so with girls, normally you do the same thing as you do with the guys. Draw the hips, or the direction of the hips you want, and then you can quite often just draw underwear on it. This is how I literally draw all of my girls. I just draw undies on it in the midway. So you kind of just have this kind of shape, and then you can just draw whatever for it.
I'm in the background.
Yes, dear.
Hello.
What are you doing?
I'm getting the drinks.
Yes, dear. Okay. Also, this pose is terrible because it's not balanced. She'd just fall over. Oh, and if you're putting the shoulders up, this is something I found out recently, actually. So when you draw someone with their shoulders like straight up, so this is their neck. Say the shoulders are like up here. Your shoulders don't go down, so your collarbone will go down, but you actually have a piece that comes up at the back with it. So it almost looks like it's like straight.
Yo,
Yo.
I've arrived with drinks.
I hope that's not too loud.
I'm sorry, I'll be quiet. Amy,
Thanks.
the guy at the thing, he smelled really nice. And he had a nice facial hair.
Stop smelling guys at the door.
I can't help it, they smell really nice.
Thanks. This is what I gotta deal with all the time. My husband looking at other men.
Yeah.
You can't draw guys at all. This is what studying is for. It's great. What is he opening? He's opening a packet that had our drinks in it. Now I have a drink. I got a pineapple and mango or something drink.
Mango and
I know it's got pineapple in it.
Hold on, I'm looking now.
mango and pineapple.
There you go, I was right. Go me. Also, this girl looks like garbage, so I'm getting rid of it.
What brand? McDonald's.
Yep. Yeah, but you wouldn't want it any other way. Yeah, pretty much. Can I ship you with Andy? He's my husband.
We're married.
We
It's
don't-
already passed.
Yeah, I
You're
know,
way
right?
behind.
Ships are for fictional couples that don't exist yet. Aww. Fedora just said Boswell's animals were adorable. I'm so proud. People are seeing them the way I do. Okay, so this is actually like closer to what I want. I'm proud, I did it. Yay. This is why it's important to have a reference, because otherwise I'd have struggled so much. Okay, I'm gonna move this bit down so that I can draw Spooderman.
Spooderman.
At some point I need to do like more facial expressions and stuff.
But when they become canny, can you still ship them?
Don't ship real people.
Yeah, no thanks. Also, yeah, you don't really ship a canon couple.
Sorry, Andy, walking by someone takes a deep sniff. Yeah.
You like watching this because the time flies by. That's nice.
Oh.
Me
Yeah,
and
Amy's streams are so chill. So nice.
Yeah. Also, have a good night, me and the dog. I love your name. That is just so good. Oh, his pants are like shorter. They're like 3/4 length. I should do
Yeah,
that.
remember during the thing he actually, I think he
Oh,
he
that's
had-
right. Yeah, I remember. Some people haven't seen the movie. So, like, I tried not to pick anything that was spoilerish.
Oh, the moderator has to deal with too many real people this week. Need relaxing. It's like, it's okay, so we're not real.
So, I don't think I've ever actually asked you to moderate anything for me. Oh, thank you! I got a new member. It's Wolf Flash. Sup,
Oh,
Wolf
welcome.
Flash?
Yup, dude.
I just realized because this stream is specifically for study bin, I can't just decide to leave and go and draw like Minecraft clothes.
You do what you like towards the end of it. It's your stream. Do what you want.
No, what I'll do is if I do that, I'll stop streaming so that it ends it, and then I'll just
Hooray.
stream again.
I burped on the stream. I'm happy.
I'm proud of you. Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so Spooderman is a bit bigger. I'm gonna draw the head first for this one.
Also, the funny thing is with Spider-Man, he's gonna be what's it called? His position is probably gonna be slightly less natural just because of his inhuman ability.
Yeah, he's got a lot more flexibility. It is actually pretty natural pose-wise, this one.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Yeah. Got a nice butt, just sticking out.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, dear. This is a good pose as well for talking about proportions earlier, where you've got a lot of stuff being covered. So like there's this long arch that you get in the back, which is really great for studying this kind of thing. And then his arm comes out about here. And then you just see his hand.
Glorious Spooder thighs.
I love how at the moment he's just like imaginarily leaning on something because only half the pose is drawn.
Can you imagine Spider-Man and Leggy?
Oh my gosh. Leggy is a super spider. So I actually drew this arm over too far. He actually has like a bit of a wider chest than I've drawn, which I can draw here, so I'm just gonna erase this bit. The suit kind of stops you from being able to see certain muscles, but like, it's just fine. We're only trying to get the basics in. This one I've kind of just straight out gone for like, let's put the anatomy in it, which I said I wasn't gonna do for like these, but...
You lied.
Okay, and then that one goes here. I separated those fingers. Hey, that made it easier! Oh my gosh!
Hooray!
Yeah! Go me! I feel smart. No, I'm not having kids. Never ask me again. Never happenings.
I'll be honest, it's creepy to ask.
A little bit. I don't need kids. I have kids. I have Ethan and Les, the old man.
And we'll be buying a fluffy one soon.
People talking. What if Spider-Man was really just a bunch of spiders? There is a version of that! There is a version of Spider-Man that is literally that. It's a million spiders that think that they are Spider-Man. That is the best thing ever. You can't be more Spider-Man than that. Creepy to ask, just like actual kids. LOL! I'm gonna be honest, everyone much prefers my OCs than real children.
You're getting a pet? Yeah, when we moved house, yeah.
Yeah.
Should hopefully be getting an update on that soon. Because they gotta do the whole check the house isn't falling over thing.
Also, if you have decided to like join in and draw with me, feel free to like send them to me on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. I'd love to see like what your progress was on it.
We'll both take a look as well.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
make his head bigger because I've made it too small. That's too big. There we go, that's better. I was wondering why like there wasn't enough space for everything. I'm just like, there's why. Because I'm dumb.
Don't dumb.
Yeah, I'm a dumb. So this needs to be moved over. But actually, no, that's fine. I'm gonna move this over. Let's just do that and then just go neep. I like making weird sound effects when I move things.
Don't we all?
It's just fun. Okay, so that's gonna be like that instead. Funnily enough, you don't see a lot of his neck shape because of the way the lighting is and the pose. Like, you'll see it at the front a lot more. So it's like that. And then there's all these muscles that like contract through here. And then they've got this muscle which wraps around. And then his hand comes down. There's so more fluid than mine. But one day I'll get there. Okay, and then we're gonna put in this leg, which almost actually merges with the other one, funnily enough. There we go. Ta-da! We have progress. So yeah, proportions, like, I don't know how this pose technically functions in comparison to, like, this one. Because I can do that pose. I get stuck if I did this pose. Because my toes would not like me. That's the only thing I think I've done like incorrectly, specifically on this, is his feet. His feet don't feel like they're taking the brunt of that, that weight. Same with the top of his head. Put this. So, oh my gosh, he's a Spider-Man. Dude, can I have your autograph? I would totally do that. It's like, get saved by Spider-Man while he's like carrying me to safety. Can I have your autograph? Holy crap. He'd probably drop me at that point. I'd just become like a pain in the ass.
How do you do poses for stylized characters like Pip and Twitch?
To be honest, the same thing. It's just you draw the head is a bit different. So I'll draw the head, then like I'll draw the kind of shape that I want for the body, which often ends up being a lot more soft, but everything like form and stuff still has to be put in.
How long have you been doing art?
I have been drawing for my entire life, but I've only been drawing well for the past 2 or 3 years. That's about right, right? Probably.
I'd say more probably like. Yeah, no, I'd say maybe yeah, 2 or 3 or 4 maybe.
Gee, I like little spiders, but spiders bigger than my pinky I don't like any spiders. How do you draw wolf ears? That's not the entire thing for this particular stream, so I won't be doing that one. That's the kind of stuff where you're gonna have to look up how animals' ears work. And for the record as well, like, a stylized character still is going to have the same principles of anatomy, it's warped. So you can't draw a stylized character if you don't understand what the anatomy looks like. So I can draw a dude with like a really long face, a giant mustache.
I mean, heck, look at Lupin. Heck, look at JoJo.
JoJo is very specific in how they draw theirs. Their anatomy's like pretty stinking well off though. Like, they're great. Let's give them giant ears. So to do this though, you have to understand where everything goes. So he's gonna need like big muscles.
God, that guy has goals.
And then we're gonna give him, cause I want his legs to be like, oh, that means I need to draw his torso twisting more. Okay, so I'm gonna have this go like this, so that his butt can stick out, and then we're just gonna gonna give him like a weird knobbly knee, and then just to put like a foot.
A sticky butt and a knobbly knee.
There we go, and high heels. There we go. So you need to understand some kind of anatomy to make something as bizarre as this. He's got like chicken legs and a really big butt.
Oh my god, Lord, I just look back. What the hell? That's amazing. I want that man's body. He's beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this head here. And I'm gonna instead bring up this arm so that it sits behind. And I'm gonna make him wink. There we go. So don't all aspire to be this good. This is terrifying. I'll give him some fishnet stockings. This is Teresa's dad. Gosh, I could actually imagine that as a joke now. Oh, I didn't give him like flowing hair. There we go. Much better. So you need to know the rules before you can break the rules. You are actually scared. Welcome to my stream. This is pretty much like what happens in every single one of my art streams, and I apologize, but it probably will never stop. I like my drink. My drink tastes great. Someone always comes out terrified. Yep. They learn that the world is not as all it seems. Okay.
I think in this case they learned the world is too beautiful.
Okay, well those are the first two poses we've got. I'm just gonna draw a very quick version of both of these. Where I can push the pose myself as well if I feel like it would have looked better if I'd done different things with it. So normally what a lot of artists do is they find like the biggest shape. This is the same thing I've heard from like most of the artists that I watch a lot. They find the biggest shape and then from there you can kind of define all the smaller shapes first. So there we go. There's both of the poses done in a really quick manner. I put more time into these two specifically, so I'm not gonna redraw the poses as many times as I did with the first one. Can you show how someone sits on a sofa/chair? You're lucky! I have two poses just for that. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of these two poses because we finished them. So bye-bye. Now let's go through my plethora of references, shall we? I know. There we go! He's sitting! And then there was one of him getting up after sitting and putting his bag on, which is a pic. I always draw characters with a bag on, but I never know how to draw it, so that's why I got it. So for this one, and I'm going to tell you all to do it, draw a box. He's going to sit on this box, okay? It doesn't have to be three-dimensional. Really, you can draw it three-dimensional if you want to, but just draw an object for him to sit on first. It makes it easier, because then he's got a flat, like, surface to sit on. You feel like the legs you always draw end up being too short. This is, I have similar issues. I've noticed with me, I tend to draw feet too small, hands too small, arms too skinny for my ladies, and I tend to draw like the bottom part where the feet meet the ankle. I tend to draw that too thin. So like these are things that I'm aware of though, and I can like fix them as I go. But if you're struggling with a pose, put it down for a while and come back to it later. And then after that you can just sort of grasp what you do and don't like about it, and then you can change it. What is this weird sounds of me drinking?
Oh yeah, I forgot I had a drink.
What'd you buy it for if you're not gonna drink it?
I wanted to drink it, I just forgot.
Does England do anything like VidCon? I don't know if we have a VidCon.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be, or there is a VidCon EU, not specifically England, but although oh no, I think there's a VidCon London. I think maybe.
Might be.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm still new to VidCon, so I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's something I'll look into, definitely, though.
Andy doesn't draw. Andy's got other things that he prefers putting his time into. And I don't really draw animals. I generally draw people more than I draw animals. And I struggle drawing people, so I gotta get used to drawing them before I can start drawing animals.
Yeah, to be honest, like... me and Abby have very high standards for ourselves, so I know for a fact that I do not have the time to put in to get to the point I'd be happy with.
Oh, if you are scared of like line arting legs when you're line arting on paper, because yeah, I know you can't just fix it. What you do is, if you do make a mistake, put another piece, like line the rest of it, then put another piece over the top, and then line art a brand new one, and you can fix any of the minor mistakes you've got while keeping to the line that you've already done for the old one. I used to do that a lot because I'd always make a mistake. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna draw this box because this is where his butt's gotta be. So draw that, and then there's his head. You can see the neck there. You can see the shoulder piece at the back. And you can see that the shoulders are actually like facing backwards. So that's gonna be like that. It's gonna go into a pocket that sits about there. It's also not completely flat like I'd drawn it. This needs to come up higher. Yeah, form is important to understand, and that's something I'm still trying to grab. So I'm getting used to the idea that I'm drawing in a three-dimensional space. And it's taking a long time because I draw nothing but flat things. Okay, now I can fix this. So the torso is about the right size. I just gotta lift it up so that I can actually put the legs and the butt in there, because it kind of just didn't exist. And you kind of need one of those, otherwise how else are you supposed to sit down? And he's raised one leg there. It doesn't sit flat on the box underneath. You don't even really see this other arm. You kind of see it, but it almost looks like it's like straight. There's just a small curve in there, and that's it. Okay, one thing I need to learn how to draw, and I'm very happy I picked this character, is how hoods actually sit on a character. Because it's something that you kind of just draw like what you see in an anime, and then you realize that they don't always look like that. So this is great, because it's making me have to draw it whether I want to or not, because he's wearing it. And same with this. This is baggy. There'd be a seam here, which you don't always have to draw, but it's more fun to draw it in. Okay, give him a face. And he's got a shirt on. There's most of the folds sit here. Same with this actually, there's folds that drag in through here, which this is the kind of stuff I wish I could do in Minecraft, but I can't because I can't alter the poses and then redraw the skins to fit the folds of the new pose. Because they don't have bends where there should be bends. He looks so relaxed about something. It's a very interesting pose, just because it's, the way his legs sit is weird because of the perspective. I still remember when I used to draw feet as a flat nub. I'm very happy I don't do that anymore. Where is Andy? He's still here.
Yeah.
He's not drawing, so he's a little bit more quiet. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this so far. Yeah, the goal is...
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Huh? I was gonna say the goal is to just be able to draw these poses really quick in the future. So I might do 1 or 2 more of these kinds of streams at one point, just so we can grab the basics.
Hmm.
So what were you gonna say, by the way?
I was just gonna say how we went up to town today just to buy stupid kid stuff.
It was great.
I bought a tiny fluffy banana. We bought 4 of those buy a box, you don't know what's gonna be in it things.
Mystery box, yeah.
Yeah, we bought some of those blow pens, the pens that you blow through and it like makes like colors. We were literally like 5 years old.
I was enjoying myself. That was great. I have not actually spent my money on things I wanted in like ages. Because normally when you spend money when you're like older, it's just like, oh, okay, well this has to be for bills and this has to be for work. And it's just like, yay. This time it was kind of like, do I need this? No. Do I want it? Yes. Great. I'm buying it. Okay, this leg's over too far. Need to be able to see the actual existence of this leg. It's funny because this leg feels so off to me, but it obviously exists there and it's correct. Also, the back for this would be more of a butt there. Yeah, it would still come off. So, oh, I guess it's technically this is still like, it's not going to be completely flat either. So that's a quicker version. It actually looks nicer than the first one, so... Progress!
Progressive.
Oh lol. Someone asking if I draw like sexy stuff.
Yeah.
If I did, you would see it. So, probably not. I don't see a reason to be honest. It's not my kind of stuff.
There's plenty of other people to feel that.
Sadly, like, I do like a lot of artists that do draw that kind of stuff. Which is not great when you don't really want to see it. But their anatomy is drawn so good that you kind of can't not look at their stuff because you're trying to learn from it. Well, I suppose it makes sense because they're drawing the entirety of the anatomy, so it works. Guess it's time to get out the drawing tablet since others are being productive. I mean, if you don't want to draw, you don't have to draw. Yeah, the second one definitely looks better. It's really interesting though, seeing what you can do with the pose once you've got a grasp on like the shapes that can go into it and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, okay, this would go here quickly, and I don't need to put a skeleton in here. I just know what kind of shape I want. This next one's a bit harder. But I still want to draw it because it's an angle of the face that I'm not used to. You can see like the jawline and you can barely see like the actual nose and stuff. I like drawing poses like this because it's different. The hand goes up here. This goes over like that. And oh, it's actually
what's
just
great?
the back. What?
When dogs melem.
When they what?
When they melem.
I don't know what that is.
When they lick. You know,
Oh, I didn't. I was trying to figure out.
How do you not know dog language?
Because I'm
I'm disappointed,
not a
Amy.
dog. I wish. Okay, and then this one. You know I'm like in the middle of studying, right? Like, and you're asking me to remember a different thing that I haven't studied.
Malem. Blep. Boop.
See, boop and bleh is normal. Everyone knows those ones. He's got like quite a thick hair on the top. Technically this arm is also bigger than mine. He got a big backpack too, actually. I like the design of that backpack. So there's that one. His hand, funnily enough, looks quite small, but it's because you can't see most of it. So there is a thumb you can see here, but like the knuckles and that cut off where the rest of the hands would be. You've already asked us about stinking kids. Please drop that. I feel like people are obsessed with like anyone just having children.
Why is this generation below us so damn horny? I don't fucking get it.
Oh gosh. Who remembers Gerald the Beach Boy? Me! I do. I haven't drawn him again. He's only been drawn the once. Okay, so hand here, this goes back like that, so that this can go over the shoulder, and then it's just this shape, and then there would be a butt here somewhere. And then this one comes out like that. Technically his head's not over far enough. There it is. Yeah, it's so interesting seeing like some of these screenshots. This is such a dang nice looking movie. This also just reminds me how big backpacks actually are.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought they were smaller, just because I'm used to like, I haven't actually had to wear one in like so long now. There you go, so there's the pose sort of simplified underneath, and then there's the pose with him a little bit more, whatchamacallit. Working on a 3D modeling in Blender. Oh cool! That's the good fun stuff. Thanks for the study, Sish. I'm glad you're enjoying it. How do you get comfortable with posting your work online? To be honest, you kind of just have to suck it up and go for it if you want to do it. It's not something that you really just get comfortable with unless you start. It's really awkward because like, for example, I don't like a lot of my pictures, so I don't actually post a lot of stuff online. I might post this one and possibly this one. But other than that, like, I only post on small places like my Discord, or sometimes I'll post on like another couple of Discords that I use, or maybe on social media if I'm like really, really happy with it, but it's not as likely. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my work. I'm hoping I can get better. And see you later, Phoenix. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
What is your Discord? If you have a look on Andy's videos, there should be a link to the Discord that both of us use. So, yeah. Well, that's 2 more poses we've done. So I'm gonna close these 2 down. You'll be able to, if you were drawing the pose and like you've missed it, you'll be able to come back to this one at some point. I got some like really nice poses in here, but I'm trying to figure out which one I want. Let's do one from behind. We haven't done one of those. Okay, so this one, there's a lot of this kind of shape here. This comes down further. Then you got the head here. There's a hoodie. The clothes are really neat actually with how far it straightens out. And then there's the hand. This one was a bit easier actually if you just draw the pose with the actual clothing on it, because of how baggy it is. It's kind of cool that there's also like 3 shirts he's wearing.
Scariest thing is he's wearing 3 sweaters and not wearing one.
Oh, I love that. That's so great. So yeah, once again, I haven't drawn his head big enough. So you've probably noticed by now that that's my biggest flaw, is I don't often draw the head big enough. Those are the kinds of things that I'll just fix later, but like for a first grasp, I'm trying to get to the point where I'm fixing those kinds of things when I draw it the first time. Obviously there's no shame in not being able to draw it the first time, so don't ever feel bad if like you're constantly making the same mistake. It just means you're getting more and more aware that you're making that mistake so that you're able to fix it. Yeah, move that a little bit further away. The music is Windswept. So, if you go on the main, what's it called? If you go on the main thing of my channel, down the side you'll see like channels that I'm affiliated with, like friends or just people I like. And there's one called Windswept in there. And all of their stuff is basically really nice Celtic music, and it's royalty free, so you can actually use it in your videos. His work is absolutely lovely. I adore his stuff so much. You listen to Vinswept while writing. Yes, to be honest, that's a great idea. I need to get back into writing. I gotta move all my stuff to the computer I'm normally using. But at some point, because this one's just for posing, so eventually we'll delve into like actual anatomy, where we'll take some of these poses, and after we can get them to like a really nice looking state, we would add the anatomy to them as well. Why am I doing that? I can just move the head. And I'm just like, oh, I'll move the entire body over. Just move the head over. So this would probably have that. There'd be a muscle in here. Then you'd add like the rest of that. Same with this. Guess most of the muscle though will have moved over to the front of the arm. This is the kind of stuff I'm trying to get now because I know enough about the anatomy to draw a pose, but because it tends to look stiff or I'm missing something that I just don't understand in the form, it's like annoys me enough to where I won't post it. So that's what I'm trying to fix with this particular study. Just being able to draw the pose roughly with some form of accuracy is just nice. And each time, like, great thing with obviously being in digital is I can just move stuff around as I please, which is great. But I'm trying not to do that too much with these, just because, I mean, I can do it when I'm painting, but it's good if I can practice just drawing it again. So if you're using paper, it's actually better for you because you'll learn how to draw it better without using the warp tools and stuff. I haven't listened to BTS. I am generally busy. The hard choice between practicing anatomy and making actual artwork. You can do both. So there was a picture I drew of Gabranth, and I drew him shirtless. Not because I thought I needed sex appeal, but because I just really wanted to draw a proper like torso up picture of Gabranth. What did I call it? That's a good question. When did I draw it? Boxer Gab. There it is. Okay. So this one was done entirely for practicing a boxing pose and practicing anatomy. I still struggle very much with the abs. Abs are awkward though because their shape can change for each character. It's just really weird. But yeah, there were a lot of like adjustments I had to make. So actually, why not? I'll go through. I'm gonna pull off some of the layers, and you can see like my processes. That would have been when I was just editing a bunch of stuff. Where are they? Here we go. Oh, okay, yeah, so that was the original version I had. That was Pi's fixed version. So there wasn't really any definition in a lot of stuff, and then it didn't really fit close to the pose I wanted. Then I adjusted multiple things, so I fixed up how this looked. And I'll put all these back on actually so that you can see the whole thing. Yeah. So like the difference is quite a lot, including how his face looks. Like I pulled in a little bit more so it just didn't look like he was chubby, if that makes sense. This was also very disproportionate through here. Just make a layer on top. Where's my red? Thanks, Miles. You're helpful. So here, it was longer and bigger than this side. So there's a problem. So many layers. This is what happens when you're learning. But yeah, so that was fixed in here. They're about the same size now. This hand is raised, so this shoulder was raised. This shoulder was lowered, and the hand is lowered. So it just kind of looks nicer. His pecs were pulled in more. This was sort of fixed up a little bit more. You can see it's got more definition. He was given chest hair because I haven't drawn him with his arm and chest hair in ages, which I keep forgetting. But yeah. So that's pretty much what I was trying to fix. I still have to work on the abs. I do like this picture a lot, so this picture is technically finished. I'm probably never gonna go back to it. But like the next picture I do will just get better, hopefully. And now I can use this as a reference. I also put his legs in more. He looks like he's more grounded and he's actually able to stand rather than like standing with his legs too far apart. Although I do like how this almost looks like satin rather than whatever material I made it out of afterwards. Black and white versions are great. I also have the scars for him too. So there's 3 scars here. One there, and one there. And they go all the way around, so they're actually on his back as well. Oh, see you to those who are disappearing. I probably will stream for another 10-20 minutes and then I'll be hopping off as well.
Don't know much about me. I'm really shy and a huge introvert. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, pretty much everyone on the internet is. I think that's just how we roll. Yeah, so when I do anatomy studies, I try and
hey,
turn
Jaws.
it into a
Sorry.
big picture. Oh, Jaws is here. Is Jaws here? Oh, wow. Yeah. Jaws is here. Yo! I'm not going to save that. So yeah, all of these were done within a decently quick time frame, so there's not a lot in terms of like refinement on these much. There's, oh actually I'll show you, there's an artist I absolutely love and I always look at this stuff. I have their Instagram up. So they draw like this. All of their poses are generally more gestural, but they're very loose. They get across the point so quickly about what it is. And this is their username. For anyone who wants to follow them on Instagram. There we go. So yeah. They're absolutely lovely to watch. Every now and then they'll put up a time-lapse on Twitter as well that I like to watch. And it just shows you their process. Sometimes they'll start with the feet, sometimes they'll start with like the shoulders or the torso. And it's just really nice to see their stuff, to be honest. There's even a curve, like here, which is really nice. They've got the same thing here. They got a circle for where the butt is here. And then you can see the lines that they've got sort of going through everything. And they got the same kind of shape that I've been giving my legs. So I've been learning a lot from people like this because they simplify something that feels too complex. Oh, thank you so much, Jaws.
Yosh!
Yay! But yeah, like this is the kind of stuff that I'm hoping to improve on and eventually get to this kind of level. I'm getting there. My work is definitely not like it was a few years ago. It's a lot better. And you can see just there is an improvement from this piece just to this one. And even both of these look better than the first one we started with, which is this one. So the difference is quite a bit. Scary dude that I drew earlier. So yeah, I don't think we'd probably get through most of the poses that I'd pulled out. Then again, like I picked out like a ton.
Yeah, it was more just to have the option.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and give this one a go because it's harder. So I'm gonna draw in red for this one. So and this has got like a huge curve on it. His jacket is so bulky. This is where perspective comes in. You actually sometimes have to draw like cylindrical pieces just to figure out where the form of everything is and if it would work. Okay, this arm is like here, and then I think this actually needs to come up. Then there's the foot, and then it's like this is such a hard pose. One day I'll get good at these kinds of poses and I will be very happy. Yeah, I've stopped telling myself I can't do this kind of stuff. Obviously, I'm very inexperienced in it, so I don't draw it particularly that well. But that'll change with time. You can see the foundation here, and it's not hugely inaccurate compared to like earlier attempts of my artwork when I used to try and draw stuff like this. But it's still lacking the grace and fluidity that you would get from this actual pose. Because what you're trying to get here technically is he's fallen over. He's basically about to roll over this way, which is where the foot's gone. This one and this one have both like caught him, so that's pretty much like his entire support is leaning on that side. And then the body is like so rotated. Technically the torso would probably be more like here. The only reason it looks as big as it does is mostly because of the jacket. Long time no see. Do you remember my name was Wolfie Roleplays and then I changed it? Unfortunately I can't say I do remember that name just because I have a lot of people come and go. But
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. You improved on your art, but your social skills plummeted. I know those feels way too much. Please never, ever, ever tell me that I am better than you'll ever be. Never do that. ever. It's not good for my self-esteem, and it's not good for your self-esteem. I don't want my skills to basically be told that no matter what I do, I'm immediately better than you for whatever reason. I work hard, and if you want to be good at something, you need to work hard too. Don't just put it off and chalk it down to just, oh, I can't do it. If you want to do it, you'll put in the effort for it. Yeah, at the end of the day, it comes down to experience, it comes down to willpower on what you actually want to accomplish and what you'll work for. And then it comes down to just actual experience and work hours you'll put in. Amy's words of wisdom. That's because I get tired of people putting themselves down and then putting me on a pedestal, even though, like, technically, compared to all the artists that I look up to and I look at a lot, my art is basically the same as what you think yours is to mine. And it's not good for anybody's self-esteem to compare your art like that. And, like, I'm learning to not do it as much, so I want to encourage other people to do the same thing so that they don't just completely destroy the joy of actually just drawing. Ugh. I have no clue what that is. I don't know what MBTI means. I'm not versed on the slang of the kids today. Okay, I'm doing what I was doing before. I'm just trying to draw like another version underneath, but I drew it too close. Oh, that's something I missed. Okay, so in here, you've got this. This goes up like that. And then under here, which is here, there's actually like the underside of the butt.
Under a butt.
Yeah, it's something that I actually never knew how to draw because realistically, I don't see the underbutt of people in any real need or reason. So it's just like, I didn't know how to draw it, and then I didn't want to look up references for the longest time because I'm just like, ooh, that's gross. Then you kind of realize when you're drawing a pose like this, you're just like, oh yeah, no, that exists. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care about personality stuff too much. I kind of just like being me and not being grouped into another stereotypical number or whatchamacallit. Okay, and also it's been about an hour and 40 minutes, so I think I'm actually going to call the stream about here.
Okay.
I think we've drawn a good amount today, actually.
Yeah.
So I'll recap and then I'll hop off. So we drew this pose first, followed by all of these, which were a little bit harder poses. A couple of them weren't too bad, but the one with the backpack threw me off. Oh, thank you so much! Amy, Brian, thank you! And, oh my gosh, Ireland! I want to go. I still want to go to Ireland. We need to do that at some point.
We absolutely can.
Yeah, thank you so much. That means a lot. Yeah, so we did those ones, and then the last one was this horrifyingly awkward pose that one day I will be able to draw a little bit better. So, we'll get there. I'm gonna try it again at some point. If you guys prefer this series done as a stream rather than as just a short video, then I can have a look at that. Otherwise, I'll go back to doing just a 10-minute long video and just leave it at that. So, yeah. I will see you guys the next time I stream, which I am currently not sure when I'll do that, but I'll do that at some point. I might do some more HD Minecraft skins again on stream next time. So, yeah. I shall see you guys later. Bye!
Bye!